Once again, a 50-lap feature event for the mini stock division, the final event of the afternoon about to unfold. Pace car heads to the infield. Car number 67 on the pin. Brandon Plemons will lead the field down to the green flag with Billy Roberts. Alongside, car number 17, Connecticut, Rick Hartenstein. He's won in the past, knows his way in the victory lane, wasting no time to take over control as he heads the field into turn number 2. Feature winner 2 weeks ago, Bobby Greene, stuck back in the pack. Our defending track champion, Bruce Thomas, with car number 34, also stuck in the back of the pack. They've got their work cut out as we complete lap number 1. Your car doesn't have a 7, you don't belong up front. It's the 17, the 67, the 77, and the 77 again. Lucky numbers this afternoon. Maybe a little inside. Oh, a hard shot on the backstretch. Car number 68, Jeff Carnes, literally front with the 17 car. Still lucky to have a 7 in your number somewhere, as the top 5 cars have a 7 in place on the door panels. 17, 67, 77, 77, and 27. The 23N goes around. That's Ned Disatel. Let's see if he can get it going in time and we can keep racing here. He's got it in reverse. That's going to bring out the caution as he's in the wrong place at the right time. Shouldn't take long to realign the field. Well, we've got 2 down. We're going to drops the flag and we're back underway. Again, Rick Hartenstein with a brand new power plant under the hood has the lead. But look who breaks from the pack. Bobby Greene driving car number 1. As quick as a flash, moves into the 4th spot. He came absolutely out of nowhere. Now battles for 3rd underneath Guy Wade's number 77. Looks underneath Brandon Plemons, makes short work of the 2nd spot, and he's up to the runner-up position. Well, 1s are now appearing on the scoreboard as we have the 17 and the 1. Here comes the 3 car of Joe Rodriguez coming to the front as he's battling for the 3rd place honors as Brandon Plemons begins to fade with the 67. So quick as a flash, the 7s disappear from the scoreboard. The 8th car, well, the 8th car of Tommy Metcalf is up to the 4th spot. Rodriguez is up to 3rd. Greene is up to 1st, and the 17 of Hartenstein runs up front. Mike Long, a rookie driver this season, a fine run the first time out, finds himself in the infield with mechanical problems with 5 laps showing on the scoreboard. Now make that 6 as Rick Hartenstein crosses the stripe. Bobby Greene definitely closing in. Mustangs in positions 1, 2, and 4. Chevrolets in 3 and 5 and 6. Quick as a flash, it changes. Bruce Thomas almost left out in the cold with a brand new number 34. Finds himself stuck in the middle of the pack, but still working his way up. Alan Killis in the 12X heads to the infield. Gene McGuire in the Alfa Romero. Running a slow pace, but keep in mind it's the car's maiden voyage. And the driver also out for his maiden ride. Meanwhile, Bobby Greene has reeled in the 17X of Hartenstein. The Mustangs are side by side at the line, and Bobby Greene looks to make short work of it in turn number 1. As Dave Sullivan in the Opel Manta hangs on, does a nice piece of driving. Drove that car in real hard, but held on to it, got it off to Omco in time to save any serious damage. Paul Fugner about to get sandwiched by the top 2 cars. As Bobby Greene stays out front, Rick Hartenstein running 2nd. Tommy Metcalf moves into the 3rd spot with car number 8. Then puts General Motors back to the 4th spot with Joe Rodriguez in car number 3. Craig Garrett Sr. losing the left front tire on the 89. Appears headed to the infield. Bobby Greene is out front, but unable to shake Rick Hartenstein at this point. Hartenstein staying within striking distance, just a couple of car lengths behind, as the two front runners work their way through traffic. The field now settles down, some of the back markers being lapped. A little problem for Bobby Greene as he hooks up with one of the back markers. Ned Dossetel in the 23N was a roadblock momentarily. Dossetel moves over, allows Rick Hartenstein the inside. Jimmy Glennon, car number 4, running into problems with only 14 circuits completed. 4 car comes down onto the apron out of harm's way. Could be something has broken on the automobile, as the car definitely is slowing here in turn number 1. Looks as though the right front tire may be the culprit on the 4 car as he heads to the infield. Passing flag being given to some of the slower drivers as the front 2 cars now look to run away and hide. Bobby Greene using up the entire speedway, both high and low, to his advantage, and that's what it takes. He uses whatever road appears to be open at the time. Bobby Greene, your leader, driving car number 1, the hot pink number 1 that is. Rick Hartenstein not far behind in that white number 17X, or 17 Connecticut. Then we look back to find the 8 of Tommy Metcalf and the 3 of Joe Rodriguez. That's the top 4 cars. After that, unofficially, we'd probably say it's the 34 of Bruce Thomas and the 12 of Bill Guyette. So once again, Bruce Thomas shaking down a new race car, the number 34, is a half a lap behind your leaders, as we are now approaching the 20th lap in this 50-lap feature with Bobby Greene crossing the stripe. Rick Hartenstein, here comes Tommy Metcalf's number 8, 3 of Rodriguez. Now we look back to find the 34 of Thomas and the 12 of Guyette. Unofficially, that's your top 6 as it stands at the present time. Bobby Greene doing his usual fine job. Smooth ride in car number 1, and that's what it takes. You've got to be fast, but you've got to be smooth as well. Conserve the tires, conserve the race car, and be there at the drop of the checker, because that's where they pay the money and the points. It's nice to lead an event, but that very important 50th lap is where you want to be out front. Final event of the afternoon, nearing the halfway mark. This time by the click off the 24th circuit, as Bobby Greene has but 26 laps to go, as the 66 car heads to the infield. Chris Marcotte out of New Bedford gives it up in the Volkswagen, heads to the infield. A lot of smoke coming out from under the hood. The halfway marker being shown to your leader. 25 down, 25 to go for Bobby Greene, as Marcotte looks to get the number 66 refired. There is a lot of smoke coming out from underneath that car that suggests he must have some type of mechanical problems. Bobby Greene down across the line once again. Well, it looks as though Marcotte has the 66 running. Drop of the green, and Bobby Greene is on his way. Rick Hartenstein able to break from traffic as well. Tommy Metcalf kind of hung up momentarily, as is Joe Rodriguez. They were stuck in behind some of the lap cars, making their task just a little bit harder. Brandon Plemons, car number 67, smoked it up pretty good through the turns. The smoke has subsided, so evidently he was just breaking traction. Oh, Plemons in trouble, slows with the 67 car. Evidently that smoke was a telltale sign of mechanical problems under the hood. Bobby Greene, Rick Hartenstein, Tommy Metcalf, Joe Rodriguez. Now Bruce Thomas joins the battle as car number 34 has moved into the number 5 position. Billy Guyette unofficially running 6th with car number 12. And I'd almost have to say Billy DuPont in the 24 quite possibly could be running 7th. But again, that's just strictly the way we see it from the booth. Kenny Flanders, car number 27X, heads to the infield with the Chevy Chevette. Evidently he's through for the afternoon. And we are 20 laps away from the checkered flag with Metcalf slip sliding through the turns. He regains control, but not before losing some valuable real estate. Dan Darnstead, car number 53, gets it around, and that's going to bring out the yellow. As we have a lot of time, jumps out front. This time he's got the top 5 cars breathing fire on his back bumper, as Rick Hartenstein, Joe Rodriguez, Bruce Thomas, and Bill Guyette are all still planted up in front of the field. The top 5 cars running in that position. With time running out, let's see if anybody's been sandbagging or holding back, or if they've been letting it all hang out for the entire event. Bruce Thomas, the defending champion, battling for the 3rd place honors with Joe Rodriguez. His Mustang just a tad off the pace. First time out for that creation. Meanwhile, Bobby Greene, winner just 2 weeks ago, is back out front as Tommy Metcalf, car number 8, running into problems. He looks to bring the car into the infield. He tagged the Amco barrier just a few laps ago, evidently inflicting more damage than he had first suspected. Jimmy Glennon, car number 4, also slowing on the backstretch. Now Royce testing the Amco barrier. Fortunately, he's able to motor on away. Chucky Field Jr. getting some precious track time this afternoon with car number 17 Jr. The lap's beginning to wind down. Rob Olowski, car number 49, slowing somewhat with that Toyota. Meanwhile, the Mustangs continue to dominate. 3 out of the top 5 Mustangs. Then it's a Chevrolet and a Honda. The Opel Manta hanging tough now is Dave Sullivan getting back into racing form. We're not sure whether the 11 car is on the lead lap or not. I'd have to suspect he's probably a lap down. But the car right at this particular point is running relatively strong. Bobby Greene continues to navigate his way through traffic rather easily. He's driving the hot pink number 1. Bobby, a longtime competitor in the late model ranks, turning his attention to this 4-cylinder class a couple of years ago, and has done extremely well. 1 2 weeks ago, looking to make it 2 in a row. At the present time, with just about 11 laps to go, he's out front with a comfortable margin over Joe Rodriguez, who just took over 2nd. Bruce Thomas, also challenging, now takes over the 3rd spot, as it looks as though Rick Hartenstein begins to fade just a little bit with the 17 Connecticut car. Evidently the car not handling quite as well as it did in the early laps. As we are 10 laps from the end of this one, Bruce Thomas, still running 3rd, has time. But it's definitely on the side of Bobby Greene, as Bobby Greene appears to be adding to his advantage. Again, Mustangs appear to be the hot setup, although now Joe Rodriguez in car number 3 has moved up to the runner-up spot and appears to be closing in on Bobby Greene. Bruce Thomas, on the other hand, sits 3rd with a Mustang. Rick Hartenstein is 4th with a Mustang. Then we go to the 5th place car, the 12th car of Billy Guyette. And then we go to the Opel Manta of Dave Sullivan. The Opel Manta, by the way, has won here at the Speedway. It's amazing enough they decided to use the car, but to win, well, that was just an added plus. Time definitely running out. Joe Rodriguez looks to pull away from Bruce Thomas. Rick Hartenstein, on the other hand, closing in on Thomas. Passing flag remains out to some of the slower competitors. 43 laps complete. Time definitely running out as Bobby Greene, with a comfortable margin, continues with his usual fast and smooth pace, as the pace of this race, again, rather quickly when they can keep it under long periods of green, and that's what it takes. Once the driver gets his rhythm, gets the motion flowing, as they say, with the adrenaline pumped up, they're off and running. It'll be 5 to go, says Billy Roberts as he posts the one-hand sign to the field. Less than 5 laps remaining, less than 2 full miles of racing. That goes by rather quickly under green flag conditions. As Rodriguez and Thomas continue to battle for the runner-up honors, Billy Guyette looking to challenge for the number 4 spot as he gets underneath the 17 Connecticut of Rick Hartenstein. Hartenstein running 5th, Guyette is 4th. Bruce Thomas runs 3rd, but that could change as he challenges for the runner-up spot through the turns. Thomas on the inside of the 3 of Rodriguez. Side by side, door handle to door handle, Thomas looks for the 2nd place money. Has the edge off the turn with 3 laps to go. 1 mile of racing remains. Bobby Greene out front. Bruce Thomas runs 2nd. Joe Rodriguez runs 3rd. Then it's Bill Guyette and the 17 Connecticut of Rick Hartenstein as the popsicle sticks are out 2 more times around, and all that remains.
Inky working his way around some slower traffic as he looks to break 3 through the turns. 2 to go marker already being displayed to the field. White flag due out this time by is Bobby Greene from Ledyard, Connecticut. Looks to pick up the white flag from Billy Roberts atop the starter stand. Bruce Thomas back to the runner-up spot with the 34. Then it's the 3 of Joe Rodriguez. And it looks as though the 12 of Bill Guyette running in the 4th position at the present time. Out of turn number 4 for the final time is Bobby Greene, first repeat winner of 1993. As Bobby Greene goes 2 for 2 or mini stock racing here at the Speedway, finishing in the 2nd spot. Again, Bruce Thomas, the 1992 defending track champion. In the mini stock division here at the Speedway, Joe Rodriguez from Middletown, he settles for 3rd. Bill Guyette, also hailing from Middletown, Connecticut, settles for the...
And Bobby Greene definitely made it happen today as he picks up his 2nd win of the season. Almost made it look too easy, folks. But again, it's not as easy as it looks from the grandstand. A lot of pressure in the closing laps. Bruce Thomas, the defending track champion, on his back bumper. But he finds his way into victory lane nonetheless. Bobby Greene. 2 in a row, Bobby. I'll tell you one thing. For an old guy, you make it look pretty easy. You put the young guys to the task and came out on top. It looks so smooth, so easy. Why does it go that easy for you and not for everybody else?
Homework.
Homework? What do you mean, studying late at night?
Yep, very late, every night.
You know, the car looks good, it runs good. Do you get any help on the automobile, or is this a self-effort?
No, it's more like a family effort, really.
We understand that your lovely wife, Emma Coates Greene, will have a car out in the coming weeks. Is that true?
Yeah, either the next show or the one after.
Are you going to put as much time and effort into that car as well?
Yeah, it's going to be a duplicate of mine.
Oh, in other words, you're going to have a backup car here every Sunday.
Well, I figure 1 and 2's got to pay pretty good.
Uh-oh, well, I guess that's a sign to the other drivers. They better stop paying more attention to getting their cars going just a little bit faster. It's Bobby Greene.